Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing how I highlight and contour my face, which I am very excited to do because I am using a new set of brushes that just came out. I mean, obviously mine are a little bit dirty because I have been using them a lot recently, and that is the new brush set by Sigma. It's the baking and strobing set. Mine are dirty, don't judge me, but I will leave where you guys can get them down below on the Sigma website, and also my coupon code, which is just Brandon, that's 10% off. Honestly, I have never found a brush collection that I've liked better for specifically this. No brand has come out with a brush set that's specifically for baking, and not that I know of at least. I don't want to be like caught in a lie. Like, I honestly have no idea if there's any brand that has come out with one. I honestly can't explain to you guys how much easier this has made my life since I started using these, and it just makes everything so much easier than just kind of using a random brush for like baking underneath my eyes or a beauty blender. It's great to actually have brushes that are meant for these things. So, before I ramble on too much longer, this is a talk through video, so it's going to be me explaining pretty much how I'm doing my highlight and contour routine. This is a long one, so strap in. I hope you guys do enjoy these kind of videos more where I'm kind of teaching you what I'm doing and kind of really connecting like one-on-one with you guys. I do like doing talk throughs more than I like doing voiceovers, just because I feel like it's more personal with me sitting here explaining everything to you. It's very raw, it's very me, like there's not just me voicing over a video that I've already filmed. So, but I just think that these videos are a little bit on the longer side. Like, they tend to be like 15-20 minutes, and I know that people are impatient and really don't want to watch a video for that long. Honestly, I feel you. So guys, without further ado, if you guys want to see how to highlight, contour, and bake your face, just keep on watching. So let's just jump right into this tutorial. I am going to first be starting with the Naked Skin Ultimate Weightless Coverage Complete whatever concealer. This is my favorite. Honestly, I have never found anything I've liked better. I've tried the NYX, I've tried the NARS, I've tried a couple other ones, but honestly, this one has been my tried and true. I have had so many tubes of these. I just feel like the formula is really nice. It doesn't crease a lot under my eye. I used to have a lot of problems with creasing underneath my eye, but ever since I started using this, I really haven't. And I really like the applicator. It's just a doe foot applicator, and it's just like a flimsy one. I probably will not focus on it, but it's just like a flimsy doe foot applicator, so it's really easy to kind of like draw underneath my eyes. So I have primed my skin and applied foundation, and I applied the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, which I have been loving recently. It's just very, very, very heavy coverage, so I honestly do not apply a lot. I do apply that with a beauty blender just because it helps massage that into the skin. Okay, so now what you guys are actually here for, and that is how I highlight and contour my face. So, like I said, we're taking this concealer, and I'm using this in medium light neutral. This is about 1 shade or 2 shades lighter than my actual foundation. You don't want to go too light so it's stark white underneath your eyes, but you don't want to go the exact same shade as your foundation, then you're not going to be highlighting anything. So I'm just going to be taking this concealer, and I like to draw a line just kind of down the side of my nose, and then I will drag this back underneath my eye, and then I will like pull down and just kind of draw lines like this. So I want to kind of give you guys a reason why I drag my concealer all the way back. If you guys have more of a rounded out face, you're definitely not going to want to drag your concealer all the way back. You're definitely going to want to keep your concealer to pretty much just underneath your eyes so you don't really widen your face more. I have more of a long face, and I like to keep this portion of my face a little bit on the wide side. I don't know, that's my own personal preference. I think it makes my face look a little bit more on the feminine side, so that's why I take my concealer back. I keep it right on my cheekbone just to kind of round that out, and you'll see later when we contour how much of a difference that makes. So then I'm just doing the same thing on this side, drawing a line down all the way to the bridge of my nose, and then dragging backwards and down. So I really don't go in with too much concealer. Honestly, this is a lot more than you would think you need, but once you go in with a brush or a beauty blender, it will absorb some of the product and it will blend out flawlessly. So other places of the face that I like to highlight is my chin. I just like to apply a little bit right here on the center of the chin, just to kind of even all of this out, because when you have it a little bit lighter underneath your eyes, you really want to even out the rest of your face, or it's going to look a little wonky. So then I'll take the same concealer, I have not dipped this back in, and just apply it on my forehead. Just kind of like a, oh my god, like I do not do drugs or anything, but it looks like a pot leaf, honestly. And then drag this down your nose. So those are all the places that I like to highlight. People draw it underneath their jawbone, but I will go in with baking products later. So today we are going to be using the new Sigma collection that just came out, which is the new baking products, or not baking products, the baking brush set. So I have been obviously using these. They're dirty as shit, but I wanted to show you guys that I've been using these because I don't want you guys to think I'm just talking about something that I have no idea about. So I'm going to be taking the Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki, which is the F79, which is this one. And it's just a dome shaped. And what I'm going to do is just start by blending my concealer out on the bottom portion of my concealer. And then just, I'm patting. I'm not swiping. I am just patting my concealer into my skin. And I'm really focusing right where it meets my foundation first, because that's where you're going to notice that stark line. So I'm just patting this foundation kind of back and forth and moving the product around my face, just so it's not too heavy in one area or too sparse in another. So then I'm just going to look up and really press this in. Ooh, ow. Really press that into my under eye. Don't worry, I usually do not do eye makeup before this. I just had mascara on from the day, so that's kind of why that's on. But I really like to make sure that I do not forget this inner corner. Honestly, I feel like that's something a lot of people I see miss, is this inner corner. It gets the darkest in here, so I really like to make sure that my concealer brightens the inner corner or I'm going to look dead. So I'm just going to kind of go clockwise around my face. This is just how I do it. You honestly can just do your under eyes first and then the rest of your face, but I kind of just work in sections. And just the same thing over here, really just pressing this in. I really like these brushes because they are synthetic hair, so they will not absorb too much of your product. If you use a natural hair brush, kind of like a powder brush, something like this, this will absorb all of your product and you'll be like, where has my concealer gone to? I have no idea what happened to it. But if you use a brush with the white fibers, it will not absorb too much of it. It will absorb some of the product, as you guys see, but it will not absorb all of it. So I'm just kind of dragging this back, blending it out, making sure to look up when I blend because it will pull the skin on the taut side, so I'm not blending over a crease. Now that the concealer is all done, what I like to do is set it quickly with powder. So this is where the baking is going to come into play. So I'm going to take the Sigma F89, which is it's called the Bake Kabuki. It's perfect because it's got this slant to it. I do have a coupon code for Sigma. If you guys don't know, it is just my name, Brandon. It will be listed down in the bottom bar, as it is always. This does come as a set, or you guys can get all these brushes separately if it's something you guys want. I just think it was great that Sigma came out with these just because it really makes everything so much easier because you have a brush for everything you need. Okay, so I'm just going to be taking the CoverGirl translucent powder and just applying a little bit on my brush, as you guys see. Actually, there's more than I want. And then I'm just going to stamp it. I'm starting in this outer corner first, and then I'll work my way in. I recommend not wearing clothes that you guys are afraid are going to get really powdery or dirty. Honestly, I don't care what I'm wearing right now. Okay, so after I apply it underneath my eyes, I will apply just a little on my chin and in between my forehead. I mean, not in between it, but on it. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take the P89, which is just this smaller version of the same brush, and that's what I'm going to use to kind of bake down the center of my nose. That brush works perfectly for the center of the nose. So I know that I look a little bit on the crazy side right now, but I'm going to wait a couple minutes. I don't like to wait too long just because it will over dry my under eyes out and the rest of my face, because I also do apply a mattifying primer and a mattifying foundation. So you can leave it on from 5 to 10 minutes depending on your skin type, how oily you are, what products you've already used on your face. I'm gonna wait about 3 minutes and then I'll be back to dust it all away. Okay guys, so it's been about 3 minutes and I'm going to be taking this powder sweep, which is the F06 from Sigma, and I'm just going to start dusting away this powder. And it doesn't really matter like what direction you go in. I mean, honestly, I'm just dusting it away. I'm just really dusting this off. I like this brush because of its size. It's very, very, very small, dense, and fluffy. So you can kind of just, do you see all that powder just like fly off my face? Okay guys, so when the powder is all off, we are pretty much almost done with the baking portion. So now we're going to contour, and I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. It is a little bit dirty, and by a little bit dirty, I mean a lot dirty. So I'm just going to be taking a random fluffy brush, mixing all 3 of the contour shades together. And then we're going to start on the hairline, and then we will work our way down the face. So I like to start kind of just in this corner over here, and I like to start right at the hairline where I'm barely touching my skin. And as you see, it just kind of instantly bronzes me up. So I'm lightly touching the skin and just really buffing in circular motions. I don't really want there to be any harsh lines with this. And I'm not going to really drag anything through the center just yet. I will start kind of on both sides of my temples. And just kind of blend into the hairline, just because it gets a little noticeable when your bronzer isn't blended into your hairline. You're like, why is it lighter there than it is the rest of your face? And it just kind of gets a mess. So after we kind of have it both on the temples on the side, I like to take just a little bit of product because I really want to keep this center area light, hence the reason that we highlighted it in the first place. And I'm going to just kind of drag this right at the hairline, just to kind of mesh it together, and it doesn't just look like there's 2 like dark sides and then nothing in the middle like connecting them. So I'm just lightly kind of dusting it over the top. And as you see, we still have light in the center, but we have the darker around it, which is going to contour our face. Okay, so after your forehead is done, moving on to cheeks, and like I told you guys before, I do like to round my face out a little bit more because I do have more of elongated face. So what I'll do is I'll start by taking the powder or the contour. I'll start at the back of my ear back here and make sure that most of my product is back here before I start dragging it forward. That's just kind of like a little tip I have for you guys with contouring. I always apply back here first because that's where you want the darkest to be. You don't want it to be like a dark line all the way up here. So I'm just going to kind of like suck in my cheekbone so it makes that line. And then I'm just going to follow it with the product. And then what I'll do when there's really nothing left on the brush, I'll just kind of blend the product upward. So doing the same thing to the other side, starting at the back and then working our way forward and blending up. And finding your perfect contour shade is honestly up to you guys. I like more of a warm contour. I did used to do a lot of cool tone contouring earlier, but then it really kind of turned into like a bruise. So I honestly kind of steer clear from that now. I use a little bit of a cool tone contour mixed in with the warm, just to kind of give me more of that neutrally color. Obviously my skin is a little bit more on the warm side, but I do like that look. It makes me look a little bit more healthy, a little bit more alive. That's my preference for contouring, but you guys obviously can roll with whatever works for you guys. This has just been my saving grace for the last couple of years, honestly. So before we do any of the baking, I will just apply a little bit of blush because you need to apply blush. And I'm just taking the Sigma blush in Heavenly, which is this nice, like, warm, peachy blush, which I love. And I like to just apply my blush back here and drag it forward. I don't like the look of blush on the apples of the cheek on me per se. Other people, other face shapes, it works, just it's not my preference on myself. And again, I understand that this is a lot of makeup and a lot of you won't do this on the everyday basis, but honestly, this is just what I do for like a going out look, or where I want my makeup to last super long, or just generally how I contour my face. So we're going to be going in with that Sigma F89 brush again, and I'm going to take more of this product, this powder, and I'm going to be baking underneath my contour. I like doing this to clean up my contour because I get a little bit on the sloppy side and I like more of a structured contour. So I'm just going to take this and kind of just stamp it down, and then I'll just kind of blend down my cheek. So doing the same thing to this side, just stamping and blending down. So again, I'll let that sit for a couple minutes, but while we're waiting for that, we will highlight our skin. So I'm going to be taking the Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. Honestly, this has been my favorite highlight for a really long time now, and honestly, I don't see myself switching. So I'm going to be taking the Strobing Fan, which is the F42, and I'm taking a generous amount of Champagne Pop and applying this to the high point of my cheek. I honestly love the highlight right on the apple of the cheek, so when you smile, it's just kind of like right there. I just think that it flatters my face so much. And also for the point of this video, we are going to highlight a little bit above our Cupid's bow. On our chin, and on the tip of our nose. Okay, so after that is all done, we're going to take the F06 and just blend this out. Okay guys, so after that is all said and done, I will take a little bit of Max Fix Plus, just because with all that powder, it does dry out my skin a little bit with all the mattifying products and the mattifying products and the baking. That does dry out my skin a little, so I will take Max Fix Plus. And honestly, just put a little bit of moisture back into my skin, and it will mesh all of the products together, and it will also take away that powdery look, so the powder won't just kind of be sitting on your skin absorbing all of your oil. Honestly, I know that that's kind of what we want it to do, but we honestly don't want it to be absorbing so much oil that we have like white spots all over our face, because sometimes when products absorb too much oil, sorry guys that I'm talking to you as my skin is like dewy wet, we don't want the products to be absorbing too much of the oil so then there's like a white cast left over. That's why you want to make sure that you take a setting spray, especially if you guys are going to be applying like heavy amounts of powder like that and baking for as long as you do. Make sure that you spray. Honestly, if you're dry, I would kind of not bake as much or as long, just to kind of save that from happening to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video and tutorial, and I hope you guys learned something, and let me know if you guys want to see more of these how-to videos that are more of like a talk through, where I'm kind of like teaching you guys. If you guys like those videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what other how-tos you guys want to see. I will obviously get them together for you. I am very excited to do some fall looks coming up. I am very, very, very fall inspired. Plus, so that is all that I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe. The button is down there, and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Mwah.